Good afternoon. It's December 8th, 2020. Welcome to Summit Live, episode 23, Tiles Are Solutions. We are coming to you from Summit International Headquarters in Whippany, New Jersey. We are broadcasting on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. My name is David Newmark. I am the president of Summit International Flooring, and I have as my guest host today, as usual, Mark Becker, our National Sales Director.
Hello.
Hello, Mark. And I cannot forget, we always have our co-host, Rocco, our saved pooch from St. Hubert's of Morristown. Go back to bed, Rocco. So we're nearing the end of the, I guess, the end of the year. It's been a crazy year. It's been a horrible year for most people. But we had a very interesting thing happen to us this year because of COVID and because of the changes that we had in our business. We built a television studio. This is what you see now. It's going to look very different in January. We're having TPG architects redesign for us, specifically Lisbeth Jimenez, who we had a meeting with this morning. We're going to have a brand new design, a brand new set. We have some new furniture coming as well. We'll be telling you more about that. You'll see it in early January. But for this year, we made do with Bed Bath & Beyond for our curtains. I think this might have been a Home Depot special, but we put it together as best we could. And the only way to really get our words across to you while we can't visit you is doing it virtually. We hope you've enjoyed it. This is our 23rd episode. We did have some audio problems last week. We apologize for having to cancel that show, but things happen. We've upgraded Alan Smith, who is sitting behind the board and controlling everything, who's normally our market development manager, is also our television producer, and we thank him for all of his expertise and knowledge. Today, we're going to be speaking about tiles, the use of tiles, not just in carpeting, but in rubber, in leather, and many other things. So let's turn this over to you, Mark. Let's talk about tiles and the use of flooring.
Sure. Well, the studio has been great. It's been a great way for us to keep in touch with all the designers, to let them know that we're here for them. And besides this show, some of you know, if you don't, we've been doing presentations. All of this state-of-the-art equipment allows us to give presentations where we can show textures and colors better than Zoom or Skype or any of the above. So if anybody out there wants presentations, we're here. And we're ready. We've got the right equipment. So back to tiles.
Yep.
Tiles are used for a couple of different reasons. Obviously, they're more easily replaceable than is broadloom, especially if you're in an area with cubicles, or if you're in a gym with equipment, or any place with a lot of furniture. There's a disruption to the business to have to take all that furniture and equipment away to roll out wide rolls of carpet.
Right.
So tiles are primarily used for that purpose. And fortunately, a lot of our products can be made in tiles and in our carpet products broadloom. So if people do have an area with a large open space and also cubicles, they can continue a design theme, putting in the tiles where it's appropriate and the rolls where it's appropriate, faster, easier installations.
And because we don't have a guest today, we're going to have a little bit more of a dialogue back and forth. Speaking about carpet, I'm a big believer in carpet tiles. I know the modularity of it, how the accessibility, if somebody stains something, how easy it is to remove. But broadloom is still a very viable product. I say viable mostly, though, in more private office kind of environments, because if you're working with, they have their own little case goods as opposed to workstations where it's harder to get.
Yeah, and I think anybody like us from the carpet industry would probably prefer rolls and the monolithic, seamless look. Tiles have their purpose. Designers have been using them for a long time, but as true old school carpet people, I think you'd be hard pressed to find anybody with our experience to think that tiles was a better choice. Better, maybe not the right
what
word.
We're doing here is aging and dating ourselves a little bit, because there are carpet tiles that are made today with a heavy pile where you can't even find the seam. But I do understand what you're saying, and I do tend to agree with you.
And there are some technological advancements where tiles can be made to look monolithic. We're going to go through some of that today. What we're going to do today, Dave, is we're going to show the designers brand by brand of what we offer, what comes by tiles, what doesn't come by tiles, and let people know what's appropriate.
And
for
what are
them.
we starting with?
We'll start with our very own Newmark carpet tiles. We have a
love the name.
collection called Newmark, David Newmark, Mark Becker.
I had nothing to do with that, just so you know.
Newmark carpet tiles, where, as you know, most of what we do is in the luxury segment. But sometimes after you do that 400 square feet of entryway or conference room, there's a lot of space that needs more of a budget-oriented product. So we came out with Newmark carpet tiles to help both our designers and our salespeople stay in more parts of the project with our company. People love our service when something's $100 a square yard. They get that same service when something is $15 or less a square yard.
That's correct. Now, carpet tiles are not just square. They're also available in planks.
There are carpet tiles that come in planks. We have tiles that are in larger rectangular shapes sometimes. There are tiles that come in triangles and hexagons and diamonds.
Right. That's right.
So tiles have come a long way.
3D.
They've also come a long way in terms of backing. Our Newmark carpet tiles have more of a traditional bitumen back on them. Bitumen has always been used in carpet tiles because it's the most dimensionally stable product. You get very square, or you get the right dimensions and shape of what you're going for. But bitumen is not necessarily the healthiest indoor environment product.
Right.
So,
and for those who don't know, I refer to it as bitumen.
yeah, I was being polite.
But we're on a cable show, so you can say that. If I'm not mistaken, that is an asphalt byproduct. So there's a little bit of odor that could have originally come with it and whatever. But it's not the healthiest of products, and it's not used that commonly.
People have worked on bitumen back tiles a long time. They're not necessarily killing anyone, but the push today is to have most healthy products. And
right.
Anyway, our Newmark carpet tiles are bitumen backed partially because you get dimensional stability, but primarily because that is the least expensive backing you can put onto a carpet tile. So when you need budget-oriented product, you can go to our website, look at Newmark carpet tiles.
You know, and we've done numerous installations with these type of products, and I've got to tell you, it's absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. We did a large gym facility recently. I saw it in Wayne, New Jersey, not far from here, and it was just gorgeous.
Well, we offer carpet tiles of truly unique designs, and we offer a couple that are more usable in more types of projects, and those are called Orbit and Set Sail. Orbit and Set Sail are stocked here in the United States for faster delivery.
Mm-hmm.
Many of our carpet tiles have to be imported project by project. We stock Orbit and Set Sail for when there's a need for a quick turnaround.
Right. So if there's plenty of product styles available under the Newmark Carpet brand, but only a couple that are locally inventoried.
Right. So that's our basic carpet tile that you'll get at a budget-oriented price when you need something quick, down and dirty, but still an attractive product.
Okay, let's move on from Newmark to the next.
Moving on, we always tend to highlight Object Carpet up front and up top. It's one of our longest, oldest, and most cherished relationships. And Object does many, many things in the way of carpet tiles. One of the things that you've seen is the Facts and Inspirations catalog. On the Facts and Inspirations catalog, the way to know what's available in tiles, well, actually, almost everything's available in tiles. You'll see on the top of each page the 4 little boxes that show tiles. When you look underneath the colors, if those boxes are outlined, there's a minimum to get the tiles. If those tiles are filled in, there's no minimum. But tiles, you'll know, if they're pictured underneath the swatch, they're available. Sometimes it takes 250 yards. Sometimes it takes no minimum at all. That's how you can use this book. Object offers most of what they do in tiles for what we talked about earlier. You can use tiles, embroil them, carry the design theme through the project, making the installation fastest and easiest.
Now, Object Carpet also makes some very low-profile architectural products that normally you would see every seam when you have something that's a very low-profile flat weave type. They have a type of edging. They call it zigzag tiles. I have right here, I'm going to show it one more time. I'm going to ask Alan to switch over to this camera. You can see here that these are the edges of 2 tiles on a very low profile product. So when you put these together, suddenly it's very difficult. You don't even need to do that, Mark. It's very difficult to see the seam at all. I hope I'm not making anyone too dizzy here, but I've got this focused right on the seam and I don't really see it.
So you can have monolithic look with carpet tiles. Also from Object, you can have carpet tiles cut in half so that you can have planks. It does take a minimum of 250 yards, but we can give you different shapes.
Let's put that together so we could see.
And we have the
just
Freestyle. This is the Freestyle collection that we're putting down on the table now. The Freestyle collection, many of you know, it's been very, very popular. The beauty of it is that the tiles can go any direction. They can go any place. You don't have to say tile A goes here, tile B goes there. Every floor that's put down in the same color and the same design will look a little bit different, but the installation is quick. The aesthetics are built to look good no matter how they're installed. And so Freestyle is called Freestyle because you can freely place the tiles anywhere. The other thing about Freestyle is the backing of the tiles. This is a Welltex back for the Welltex movement. Object's backing of tiles are free of bitumen, latex, and PVC. They're extremely healthy for the indoor environment. That backing is also lightweight. You can see how thin of a profile that tile is. The lightweight's great because it takes less energy to ship. It's all earth-friendly. Even the printing of these is earth-friendly because there's no water involved in this printing process, so you don't need a big machine taking up energy to dry the carpets. Object, obviously, stewardship of the.
You know, it's funny too.
Earth.
When I was at Object Carpet, which is in Germany, and hello to Heike, because I know you're watching today. I have seen water literally poured on these products, and it beads right up and it rolls right off. So even though this is carpet, we treat it like a resilient flooring.
Yeah, Freestyle is as close as you'll get to resilient flooring. It's woven so tight that you'll get appearance retention and ease of maintenance. You'll basically change these when you want to change the color of a space. You're not going to wear out something so densely woven.
Okay, so
and finally with Object, sorry, we have a product called Planks, P-L-A-N-K-X. Planks are just that. They're 10-inch. This is a half of a plank. They're 40 inches long.
Let's put a couple together because
these are bitumen-backed product.
Yeah, but and once again, because of the patterning, you can see how well they hide the seams.
Yeah, these obviously not installed, just butted together.
Yeah, and we're doing it loosely on the table, but here are a couple of good examples of that.
Planks will give you looks of concrete. It will give you looks of denim, of wood, of printed product. Lots of different options to pick from. But the point is, tiles don't have to be square tiles.
That's correct.
So that is why Planks offers such a unique aesthetic.
Okay, so let's move on. We've talked about Newmark carpet tile.
Benson Carpets out of Denmark makes our low-profile woven products. They also offer the zigzag cut so that you can hide the point of being tiles. Benson will offer large tiles of 39-inch by 39-inch, so when there are seams, you can minimize the seams.
Right.
Benson will offer different shapes to their tiles as well. Without minimums, there's just an upcharge for different shapes, but they're available. Benson Carpet also offers something really unique in carpet tiles.
Well, right now, I think Alan's trying to get, Alan, you got a blank screen, is trying to go over to the light box to show. Okay. So, small technical glitch. But
while that's being plugged in, I'll show you Delta. Delta is a wool carpet tile and broadloom, but you don't often see wool carpet tiles at affordable prices. You can get them hand woven, maybe hand tufted. They can be hundreds of dollars a square yard. This is a budget oriented wool carpet tile called Delta. You can check it out, but Benson offers both nylon and wool carpets in tile format.
Okay, we seem to have lost our handheld camera. I promise you I had nothing to do with it. It was working when I gave it to Alan, and he somehow managed to push some button off. So no more handheld. We have to improvise that.
Okay, what we were going to show is the product Randy. If you want to see a product that has tile format that the design minimizes the seams, where you can barely see the seams, I'm going to just reach out through Hollywood Magic and pop this book out in front of you. Randy, as you can see on the front page there, that is 4 tiles. You probably see the seams that I'm saying it, but when I don't say it,
I don't think they are saying that. Just so there are 4 equal pieces in here.
It just happens to be a design that minimizes the fact that this is tiles that's Randy by Benson Carpet. You'll see numerous designs of tiles throughout that line.
Okay.
So when we move on from carpet,
Yeah, but now we're going to go talk about tiles that are available in rubber. And as you know, or as I hope you know, Summit International Flooring, we have a real specialty in rubber products. It's not your typical rubber. It's not your black recycled tires. We use a lot of EPDM, virgin rubber EPDM products that are made very colorful with lack of odor. And we have, oh, here are a couple pieces right here.
well, we had the light box.
We
set
had the
up.
light box, but Alan broke it. So we're going to have to work. Alan, could you hit this camera, whatever number that is? You can see this. We have solid colors, the triathlon, and we have a brand new product here called Rubberazzo. But anyway, these are large scale tiles. They're 38 inch by 38 inch, so you don't have many seams in it. Of course, you have the flexibility of installing if there's any damage. Once again, ease it and moving equipment around to get to it. Also, patterning, something we didn't discuss too much, but if you wanted to use 5 different colors or 10 different colors in a pattern, you can do that easily with triathlon or with any of our rubber products and mix and match. You can do borders, you can do accents, you can do logos, everything available because of tiles. One other thing that's very important to remember, when you're talking about tiles, it's easier and more cost efficient to install using a tile than install using rolled goods. Why? Because they're easier to move into a job location, easier to deliver, less likely to damage a property. Believe me, it happens when you move in very heavy rolls of a product. You can scuff a wall, you can break something. So it's less expensive, generally speaking, to install a tiled product than it is.
And not to make light of what you said, so people understand, these samples you're holding are just small samples. The tiles are 39 inches large.
Right, these are only 10-inch square samples, but you know,
actual tiles are 10 square feet. They're large.
Now, when it comes to rubber, and it comes to rubber's used, I'm going to say it's used in a lot of different places, but it's very often used in gym and fitness centers. What we recommend normally is to install our rubber, especially the solid colors, in a glued down format. But sometimes that's not available. If you're doing a residential gym and you're making one small room that was used for something else, let's just say it was a little study or a bedroom, you're converting it to a gym, you don't want to spread adhesive on this floor. Why? Because it's such a pain to have it stripped and sanded and redone. We have interlocking. Where did Steve bring them and put them? Okay, so we have interlocking edges. I'm going to hold it up to this camera, Alan, to show you that these interlocking edges, and this is just 2 small samples, they go together. I wish we had a handheld right now. We're going to have to go to the main camera, and we put these together. There's no adhesives used, and although this is not the way to do it, and this is not showing well because I'm holding it up.
But if you have a space with a beautiful wood floor and you know you may not have a gym forever, you want to go back to that wood floor, this is the way to do it.
So interlocking tiles are often used when you don't want to spread adhesive on the subfloor, whether it be a wood floor or a ceramic tile or anything like that.
But one note about these tiles is that you will see seams, and in the interlocking you'll see more seams. If you go into a product like Rubberazzo with multiple colors, or a product like our Kaleidoscope with many more multiple colors and less solid field, the colors themselves will hide the seams. So if you want to look without seams or to minimize seams to the point that they're nearly invisible, what you do is you go into a tile that has a lot of multiple colors in it. The other thing we can do with these tiles is we can make them into planks. We can water jet cut the tiles. They're 38 by 38 inches, so what makes sense to not waste money and not have waste is to use sizes that are divisible by 38 inches. So 19 and a half or 19 by 38s, 9.5 by 38s. You can make planks out of the tiles.
Exactly. Now you could cut to any size, but you may have, as you say, waste, but you're still paying for the 38 inch by 38 inch tile, even if you have to throw out a little bit of it.
Right. I noticed a moment ago, Alan had a picture on the screen of a logo. The same way that we can cut these tiles into planks, we can cut and create logos. If you want your favorite sports team or you want your high school sports team, you can put that right into your, a tile can be cut so one tile holds that logo or the logo goes over multiple tiles.
Correct. I'm looking at a tile. I see what Alan has posted right now. of Cornell University. This is someone's logo that they had made on a special backing of Kaleidoscope. And right prior to that, if Alan could go up to what it was, that was the Arizona Coyotes logo for someone heavily involved with the Arizona Coyotes. We'll just leave it like that. But yes.
And that starts with our solid color triathlon tiles.
Yeah.
And we cut the solid colors that we need.
And all they have to do is provide us the artwork, and we can have a cut. And it doesn't have to be just on a tile. It could be, this logo could be spread over a series.
The whole room.
It could be, but it's usually done over 1 or 4 tiles. That's usually the case. You could also, for those, I mean, it's as simple as if you wanted your own signature to be replicated in
you could do
rubber,
that.
you could do that as well.
The way I see it, if you're not going to have a picture, you may have the name of your company splotched all over the floor, either one large one or small.
We recently, and I was very happy to do this because I'm a big University of Michigan fan, but we recently did a custom gym for 2 people that graduated. They're married, they live a beautiful home, and they wanted a University of Michigan logo, big logo for Big Blue. So I was happy to do that.
But we have a lot of versatility when it comes to our rubber tiles.
Right. And again, this is all because of flexibility with tiles. This would not be able to be done as easily.
Oh, you're not going to cut little pieces out of big rolls to make logos. So,
that's true. That's true.
So it's a tile show, but many things can be done with tiles.
Yeah.
Bring us your ideas. We will figure out a way to make it happen.
Let's leave rubber and go to Fit Nice woven vinyl. Fit Nice is one of our lovely and main suppliers. They're based in Spain, and they make a beautiful woven vinyl product. Now it's available in tiles that are standard at 50 centimeter by 50
well,
centimeter.
Nominally 20 inches.
Yeah, 20 by 20s.
But they also make shapes. So whether you want a triangle or a diamond, or you want a right, what do we call those triangles at the 90-degree angles? A right angle triangle?
Obtuse?
Well, we can make multiple types of triangles. You'll see it on the website.
Equilateral?
Yeah, you know, again, we go back to this. If I was really good at math, I wouldn't be hawking flooring.
Yeah, well, you know, math and geometry are 2 different things, and certainly calculus. So,
but there are choices of shapes.
I don't know if Alan happens to have this in his arsenal back there, but this shape, when you put a number of these together, it just becomes just like that. But I don't know if you have a picture of it, Alan. It's a 3D dimension. It's just amazing what can be done with these shapes.
And they can be hexagons.
Leave it to Alan. He has it right there.
So there's different shapes. You can have hexagons. You can have planks. You can have a lot of different shapes, but they're available in the way of tiles. The other thing that we started doing with Fit Nice and just recently started, and this is a kind of a big thing. It's not into LVT. It's too much of a commodity item, but there's a lot of LVT out there. And if you need to butt your woven vinyl up to an existing or a new LVT floor, we can now make these in a 5 millimeter thickness. That will butt right up to the LVT and continue the project.
This way you don't have to have a transition strip or reducer strip or Schluter metal or anything like that.
We call it a quiet tile because of the thickness. These tiles are quiet to begin with. And
that's right.
And one quick note about woven vinyl, it's a tile show, but we do want to point out when it comes to Fit Nice that you have a product that's going to resist fraying. It will never sprout white threads. The backing is not too soft, so you don't get indentation. I bring this up because there are so many woven vinyls on the market today. They all look beautiful in an architect folder, but they don't all act the same on the floor. Fit Nice woven vinyl will give you a usable, functional floor, as well as give you all these beautiful tile options.
Absolutely. Let's move on from Fit Nice. What's next on the list? Oh, Elegance. We're talking about now our recycled leather product, real leather, recycled.
This is only one color, but we have 5 different colors. These tiles can be used on the walls or they can be used on the floors. So when you're looking at this, it's a really consistent finish because of the embossing and the recycling. It is real leather. There is a little bit of a lead time because it's real leather, but you can have the most elegant, beautiful areas. And when we do this on the walls, there are 3 different colors of trim that we can stitch the edges with. And if I had brought in to the studio 2 pieces with the same color trim, when you butt them up, it almost looks like a double stitched seam.
Right. I'm showing how the double stitch seam would look right now
if they were the same
with 2
color.
separate colors. But
But
That's
you have
okay.
options for the wall for stitching. We do not stitch tiles on the floor. People would walk them off. It wouldn't perform. But on the walls, it's outstanding. So if you want an elegant, rich leather floor, 5 different colors, take a look at Elegance. We'll send you samples as
And
needed.
Elegance is available standardly in 2 different tile sizes. We have a 9-inch by 18-inch plank, and we have an 18-inch by 18-inch tile. We can make these larger, but I'm not exactly. I'm trying to remember the largest size available, but I think it's 54
by 36
by 30.
maybe?
No, yeah,
It's about 3 feet by a little over 4 feet.
yeah, something like that.
So ask if you want to see larger tiles. Just ask. We'll give
Right,
you the
but of course
dimensions.
there'd be some waste involved with that. There's always waste, but
Right.
if you want leather, then don't worry about you're not worrying about the little bit of waste, because it's not the least expensive product that we sell.
And we should say, talking about that we can do these in hide leather as well. We show them
True.
in recycled embossed leather, because that I'm not going to say it's a budget oriented product, but that brings the budget way down from hide leather.
Right.
If you want hide leather, which shows all the imperfections, and some people think that's the beauty of the leather product, we have that available in the same 5 colors. Again, just give us a call. We can send samples by request.
I'd like to say hello to Lisa Bell if you're watching, because I know you've been telling me that Rocco has not been getting enough camera time. So I've been sure to be pulling up his head for some visibility. He tends to hide and go to sleep, but I'm keeping him awake and pulling him up here for you.
So finally, we'd like to talk about our newest relationship with Grenour Cork Flooring. I was just looking to see where those books went.
Well, Grenour is going to be our guest next week, so we're not going to speak too much about them now. We're going to bring them in live with us from Portugal next week. 1 or 2 of the owner group will be coming to us from Portugal live on our show.
But briefly, we'd like to tell you that they're not necessarily tiles. They're different plank shapes. Each quality has different sizes. And what you'll see next week is that these can be glue down, or they can be floating floors as well. So we'll talk a whole lot more about. I was going to say we'll talk a whole lot more.
The differences between floating floor and glue down. They also make wall products, and I think you'll be very pleased to see what we're anticipating our new studio to look like next year. When I say next year, we're only talking about next month. We should have some Grenour Cork.
The curtains
we're showing it right now.
That's the story wall that will go up where we currently have curtains behind us. There are also 3-dimensional backgrounds. There's a whole lot there. Again, next week we're going to get way into the story of Cork.
We're talking about Cork, and of course all the sound dampening characteristics, the acoustical qualities. One thing that we didn't discuss, each and every one of these products that we've been discussing today, they all have different lead times. Summit prides itself on dealing with the best manufacturers, the most unique products from around the world. Not only are there normal lead times to produce and then of course to ship, but now you have COVID, and of course that means there are lockdowns in place. There are people that are out and sick, and there are delays with shipping here and there, and we're experiencing them right now with a couple of shipments. We do the best we can to move the products along, but lead times vary. And I'd say, well,
yeah, of course, I forgot. You had reminded me, and I forgot to talk about the lead times.
I just caught it now on our cheat sheet.
But lead times can be, besides the Newmark carpet tiles where we stock, lead times can be.
There's not always in stock too.
Lead times can be anywhere from about 2 to 5 weeks for manufacturing, and then shipping time on top of that.
Correct.
When you're making tiles with these backings that are unique backings that are bitumen free and latex free, and when you're making tiles that might have zigzag cuts and doing all these technologically advanced things that are good for the indoor environment, or that minimize seams or have a purpose, you're not talking about the least expensive commodity tiles on the market.
Right.
We can offer you those, but when you get into luxury product, you're going to have a small lead time. So let's plan accordingly. When you're working on your projects, let's just communicate.
I'm a firm believer that you should start by designing your floor first and then work your way up. Order the flooring well in advance. That's
and put it down last. Put it down last. So
put it down last. Make sure there's no problems. Just make our lives a lot easier. Order early.
Paint late.
Okay, so listen, that pretty much does it for this show. This was a show that we just decided to come on and talk about tiles in general.
Well, they're used so much. People should know that we have an awful lot of tile products.
We do. We have other products as well, but tiles, I'm a firm believer, is really the best type of flooring. Best type of flooring. How about that? All right, so listen, next week we have Grenour, as we mentioned. They are a great cork producer in Portugal. We'll have them beaming in live. Beam us up, Scotty. They'll have us beaming in live from Portugal to join us. If you should have any questions or comments, as always, you can reach us by dialing us on our toll-free number, which is 1-877-496-3566. You can reach us also by emailing us at info@summit-flooring.com. As always, I thank Alan Smith, who's the brains behind this all. It's certainly not you, Mark, and without doubt, it's not me.
Probably Mark, took some math.
Yeah. I thank Mark Becker, my co-host. I thank Rocco, as always, for being part of it. I thank you for being patient with us as we expand and as we grow. Yeah.
You know, Dave, this studio was so important for us to stay connected to our designer friends. And everyone who might know us or has met us through this process knows we're not television people. We're not studio people. Alan, yes, he had some experience, but we've had to learn to do new things because of COVID. We hope everyone appreciates it. And we've had a lot of fun in the process. We've learned a lot, but we've had a lot of fun too.
Absolutely. So join us next week for episode 24. Grenour Cork.
Grenour Cork.
Everybody stay safe, stay healthy. See you next week.